Welcome to the tutorial for the SR2 post-processor. This is a continuation of the walkthrough of the SR2 strain measurement system. It will provide you, the user, with a comprehensive understanding of how to decompose SR2 strain data and export it in a useful format. This data post-processor is a LabVIEW runtime engine designed to run in Windows. It does not require any LabVIEW software or the Direct Measurements handheld reader to operate. However, this program is specifically designed to decompose data collected from the SR2 software interface and will therefore be no use without the correct data format. Prior to starting SR2 process, I will show you the default location where all of the SR2 job folders are stored. Located in my documents, there is a folder named DMI SR2, which contains the job folder demo we created in the SR2 tutorial video. Inside the demo folder, we see a folder named 145, after the gauge that was used in the SR2 video. This folder contains the log file, baseline image, and workspaces folder. The workspaces folder contains a DWK file for every log data point. This data format is recorded by SR2 and used specifically for post-processing. The log.csv file contains all the information from the data recording session. To begin processing this data, simply click on the SR2 process icon located on the desktop. You will be prompted to accept or decline the Direct Measurements End User License Agreement. You must accept the terms and conditions of the agreement in order to use SR2 process. As you can see, there are three primary panes that compose the interface. In the upper left-hand corner, the user will select the data they would like to process. The bottom pane will display the data selected in an interactive graphical format. The upper right-hand pane displays the data points individually in one of three formats: normal and shear, principal, and individual gauge elements. The user may select the data to process in one of three formats. The default is to select a baseline DWK file and the current DWK files that you would like to evaluate. This option allows the user to select specific data points and evaluate them. Simply select a baseline file and then click on Select Current Files in order to import the specific data points that you would like to evaluate. I will select the first 2 points just to illustrate how easy it is to evaluate specific data. As you can see, the data is automatically graphed and any individually selected data point will be output here in the upper right-hand pane. The second method of importing data is to select a baseline image and log space folder. This will process all of the data in that folder and saves the time of having to individually select all of the data points. This method is included to evaluate large amounts of data. There is no need to reselect a baseline as we already have one selected. So simply click on Select Current Files and navigate to the DMI SR2 folder and locate the Workspaces folder containing the data. Again, the data is automatically graphed and we can select individual data points to view specific strains. The third method is to select a log file. This will process all of the data associated with that specific gauge. This process is much simpler than the other two methods, as the log file contains the baseline information for the gauge anyway, so there is no need to select a baseline. Simply navigate to the log.csv file located within the job folder and click Load Log File. The data will load in the same manner, automatically graphing the data and allowing the user to select and view individual data points in any one of the three formats. The graph can be used to select individual data points as well. Simply place your mouse over the black graph cursor and drag it to your point of interest. You will notice that the values in the upper right-hand pane change as you move the cursor. And if we would like to view principal strains instead of normal and shear, simply click on principal. You can see that the value in the panes change, but also the graph changes to view that data format. We see the same thing if we would like to view individual gauge elements. The graph also has some very useful features for viewing the data. The user can control the graph utilizing its controls in the upper right-hand corner. If the cursor is selected, simply moving the cursor on the graph will change the values in the streaming output. If the user selects the magnifying glass, we see 6 options. The first 3 are for zooming and selecting specific data ranges to view, and the last 3 allow the user to refit or zoom in and out by mouse click. The final control is the pan control, allowing the user to click and drag a zoomed graph to view other areas. Finally, The graph has an array of other features accessible through a hidden menu. By right-clicking on the graph, a list of options for other features will be displayed. Through this list, the user can copy the data displayed to paste into an Excel file, change what is visible in the graphical pane, such as axes in the legend. The user can clear the data shown, autoscale, and resize the graphs, as well as export the graph as an image or with its data into Excel. All in all, SR2 Process allows the user to manage the large amounts of data that the SR2 software package is capable of capturing. It allows the user to decompose individual data points or 10,000 at one time with the ability to manipulate and compare datasets, view all output from the SR2 square gauge, and export the graphs into Excel for further manipulation. SR2 Process makes the already versatile SR2 software package an extremely easy to use and powerful inspection tool. Thank you for viewing this tutorial video displaying how to use SR2 Process. Be sure to check out our other tutorial videos on our website, www.directmeasure.com.